Hello everyone, this is Charles Walhingford back again with another watch video, and this video is about my collection, the update to my collection. I guess every year I'll come out with a new video giving you the state of my collection at that point. Last year you saw my collection. This is my collection update. What we have here is a group of watches that I worked hard to get, a group of watches that I think update or made my collection better with my age and with my experience and everything else. I had to give to get, so some watches aren't there anymore, and you'll see which ones are there or aren't there in the newer watches, and I'll highlight those. The watches that you have seen in the past video that are still here, I'm not going to highlight, I'm not going to go over. We're just going to go over the watches that are new, and I'll tell you why I bought them or what they mean to me. And there are some new watches that I had on the last collection at that time, but they didn't appear in the video. That is because they were actually on the chopping block, but somehow they made it through. In other words, I didn't sell them for what I wanted to sell them for, so they're still here. So let's get started on my collection. My Ball NECC is my newest watch. It's one of my favorite watches already. I've been wanting a Ball for a long time, and I finally acquired it. Very happy to have that watch. Okay, next to the Ball, we have my blue Longines Hydro Conquest Diver. Hamilton X-Mach chronograph. Let's talk about this Grail watch I have. This is my Breitling Chronomat blue starburst. I really like blue. Blue is my thing. I love to wear blue. And this is the watch that for years I have been wanting. I have been hoping to have, and I finally had enough money, had the right situation, and I was able to acquire this watch. This watch was acquired. I traded in quite a few watches that you may see that aren't part of this collection anymore. That's where they're gone to. A lot of watches went into getting this watch. Again, I don't have the Steelfish. That Breitling Super Ocean Steelfish is gone. I replaced it and upgraded with this watch. I love the Steelfish, but that was not the Grail watch. That was not the watch that I've been wanting and looking at through the glass at the jewelry store. No, this was the watch I've been looking at for years, hoping one day I would have, and damn it, I got it. Next to my Breitling is my Moule Glashütte Marinus. My Dodon Type 23 is sitting in its box along with my Hamilton is sitting in its box. They have leather straps. I do not want to put these watches in the winder because it will cause the memory on the leather. I want these watches to look new and nice for quite some time. First thing I'm going to talk about is this watch here. This is my Bulova Precisionist Wilton chronograph. This watch I think adds to my collection, though it is a beater as far as horological significance. Having that smooth, high vibration per minute watch, that really adds to my collection well. Here, let's give it a run. This watch you did not see in my last collection video. This is my Techno Marine ceramic chronograph. I believe it's a cruise. I like this watch because it's a beater, but it still looks really good. Because why? The ceramic. It's all ceramic except for the case back. I am proud of this watch because I always wanted a Zenith, but also because I felt it was necessary to add a vintage watch to my collection. And this watch looks nothing like the watches of my current collection, and it adds a lot of diversity to the collection. Now this watch will be a project. I will have this watch resurfaced, and I'm going to have it serviced. Now I'm most likely not going to do anything to the dial. The dial will stay intact. I do want to show some age, but I want the stainless steel to be reworked. These watches below all have sentimental value. That's why they're still here. 3 of these watches aren't even running. You'll take a look. They're not even running. They're not they're not keeping time, but I have them for sentimental value. First off, this watch right here, the Bulova. This is the grandfather to the Bulova Precisionist. This is the Bulova Space View. Now this has been modified by the crystal. This is not the original crystal, and it wasn't kept in great order by the previous owner. But for this watch reminds me of my first love. When I first saw this watch, it was on a watch like it. It was on my father's wrist, and at that point, I knew that I wanted to be into watches. I wanted to wear watches. I love watches. And I knew it at that point. This Movado museum was my first watch, my first luxury watch. I never owned a watch this expensive. I think I paid around $300 to $400 for. Never spent that much money on any watch. This is, as you can tell by the size of the case, this was purchased quite a few years ago, and I never let it go. And it represents, again, the steps I've been to get to where I'm at right now. This is a watch that helped start my journey. This is just a regular citizen chronograph, but the reason why it's special to me, this is the first watch my wife gave me as a gift when we first got married. I think this was for my first wedding anniversary, if I'm not mistaken, and it meant a lot to me that my wife gave me this watch. And I have unfortunately let a few watches go that she gave me for one reason or another, but this one, I've kept this one just because of that. And these are my two Disney watches. For those of you who don't know, I love Disney. I love Mickey. I am a big Disney World fan, and you'll see that later on in my future videos. But I love Disney, and I've talked about this watch before. You guys didn't see this watch, honestly, because I was ashamed. I wanted to show you how well I was doing, but I realized that sometimes I need to show you where I came from. And this, as you can see, the crystal is cracked. It's not running, but it represents me. That's me. Again, I'm human, and I wanted to show you my human side. Okay, that was my collection. Hope you enjoyed watching those videos, or this video, I should say. I am very satisfied with this collection right now. There's a lot of watches I would like to get in the near future. I'd like to acquire a little bit more diversity and more balance to my collection. If I could say one thing is wrong with my collection, maybe it's too diver heavy. I like sport watches, that's my thing. And if I wanted to make my collection better, I might go more on the I think I need another not even another, I need a racing watch, meaning when you think of racing watch, that would be more so a Omega Speedmaster, but I don't really care for Omega Speedmasters. More so, I would get a Speedmaster Broad Arrow. I don't really care for the Man on the Moon and all those things. That's what I would go for, but not the usual Man on the Moon. They don't hit me. If I was to get rid of any of my diver watches, it would probably be the Longines Hydro Conquest. And if I do get rid of that Hydro Conquest, it will be replaced by another Longines. The Longines I've been looking at are a couple, something from the Heritage chronograph with the mono pusher. That's what I'm looking at. I did a review on that. Or Longines Master Collection Retrograde. If that's what I would do, if that's what watch I would get if I had to replace my Longines, or I found a great deal and the Longines had to go. Let's talk about what I really want. Grail type watches. I would love to have the Breitling Type 21. Breitling Type 21 is my new grail. That is my new grail. That's what I want really bad. Maybe the Spring Drive Snowflake or that High Beat I did a review on. That would really make my collection better, because I need to get more dress type watches. I really don't have a true dress type watch in my collection. Something that's absolute dress type watch. Now, after that, I get that Breitling, or if the deal comes my way, a Cartier Roadster. That's what I'm looking at. That Cartier Roadster would be, oh man, that would be nice. A nice addition to my collection also. Again, like I said, I am happy with my collection. I am satisfied with my collection. I have my Grail watch right now, so that's the collection. That's where it's at. This is how I spent my money. I always ask the question, how would you spend your money?